Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by a contribution from Johnny, and here's his story. Dear Ollie, all the information you impart in your videos on narcissism resonates very deeply in me. If you have a chance sometime, could you please address and discuss the following scenario in a future video? I'm hoping it might have some meaning and significance to many of your other subscribers besides me. Thank you, Ollie. I am an adult male with an older sister by 7 years, whom I believe to be an extremely toxic narcissist. I am the youngest of 3 siblings. The other, an older sister by 5 years, passed away in 2017. That sister verbally, physically, emotionally, and psychologically abused me relentlessly when I was a little boy, and was the first person in my life to introduce me to cruelty from another human being. My parents were classy and decent people, but in retrospect, shockingly lenient. They also didn't realize the fullest extent of that sister's sadistic mistreatment of me. Sadly, for the rest of her life, she remained an incredibly overbearing and bossy person, and I must admit, even as a fully grown adult, a big part of me always feared her. Both my sisters were extremely close to one another, and when my one sister passed, she left the distribution of her $2 million estate in the hands of our other sister, without mentioning me at all in her will. Listen, wills and narcissists plan on getting nothing. Plan on getting nothing. Understand something, though, about your sister, because, you say your parents' only issue is that they're way too lenient. Maybe with you, okay? But something was triggering your sister to act out violently against you. And it might be that I would question whether that leniency extended to her and your other sister. Understand, because you were the baby and you were the only boy. But as far as a will goes, plan on getting nothing, because that's just how the narcissists do that. I was shocked beyond words because I never tried to retaliate against her in any way for all the childhood abuse I had suffered at her hands, or the intermittent but very real bossiness that followed afterwards. In admitting my name from her will, I feel her abuse of me has come full circle, and from the grave yet. And it has nearly completely destroyed any healing in me that has taken place over the years. I have put a lot of effort, hard work, time, money into seeking help for myself for many, many years. Anyway, right now I'm in total despair. My surviving sister has shown zero empathy or concern for me since the reading of our late sister's will, and seems to not care about my feelings of deep hurt and confusion. In fact, she has become pointedly hostile towards me, and almost hateful, in fact, while making sure that she, her husband, and their 2 grown daughters continue to enjoy all the monetary and material things our other sister left her. Our late parents were not abusive people by any means, and they always made my sisters and me promise that we would always stick together and watch out for one another, and I have always tried my best to be a respectful brother to them. I am feeling now that they have both thrown me to the wolves. As hard as I try, I can't stop obsessing about it. The emotional pain I'm feeling over their betrayal is unreal, and again, my surviving sister has shown absolutely no empathy for my suffering. In fact, she appears extremely angry and almost punishing lately, and many of her Facebook posts sound very passive-aggressive and directed at me, albeit covertly, as she never mentions my name. Yeah, okay. So I was just about to get to the why are you dealing, listen, I'll get to it because I'm almost at the end here. I have recently unfollowed her on Facebook as I no longer want to see any of her posts. That is a step in the right direction, isn't it? Yep. Every post I previously read that made some vague reference in her feeling extremely empowered lately and not caring what anyone thinks of her. Felt like a knife being jabbed into me. Ollie, can you please offer some advice or suggestions? Thank you very much. And thank you, too, for the important work you do. Johnny. Well, here's what it sounds like to me, Johnny. Let me try to explain your sister's hostility, because I think you're giving your parents too much of a pass here. And what it sounds like to me, okay, is that you're probably, in their eyes at least, both of your sister's eyes, that you're some kind of golden child. But your parents being lenient, okay, in that they were probably harder on them than they were on you, and by that lenient, they weren't hard on you, but that meant they also weren't fucking paying attention. Or maybe they were. They were so lenient they let your older sisters raise you and beat the hell out of you. And they probably hated you your entire life for it, Johnny. Especially since they have each other had each other to enable each other's hatred of you. So that wasn't going anywhere. And once your parents were gone, boom. And look, the narcissist is always going to use the will to fuck you over further from the grave. And what they're really telling you is, I hate you from the grave. Cutting you out of the will is their way of, and how it went down with your sister is how the narcissist dreams it to happen. That's how they dream it out to happen, man. That you're sitting there expecting, and boom, they hit you in the face with it. Because you didn't see it coming. And that's on your parents why you didn't see it coming. Whether you think they were wonderful or lenient or however you want to put it. They were aloof, inept, okay, and they didn't get the fucking job done. Somehow, whether it's reality or not, your sisters, both of them got it in their heads that you were a pampered golden child. And they've hated you for it. My best advice for you is to listen to what your sisters are telling you by cutting you out of the will, especially the living one, saying, you know, you would figure the living one would be like, you know what, this is bullshit, that's not right, no. It's a little weird, though, if it's your sister's will as well. I mean, depending on what her family situation is. You know, the fact that she's leaving something to one sister and not to the brother, I could see, yeah, why you would be upset and why you would be hurt. But she let that play out. How that played out for you is exactly how the narcissist fantasizes about it when they're writing up that will and cutting you out. What you have to do is stop obsessing over it now. Stop thinking you're going to get your other sister to give a shit or see what's right, because she hates you too. You have to listen to what the narc and the rest of the family is telling you after you're cut out of the will. They're telling you they hate you. They're telling you they don't give a shit about you. And she's posting that shit on Facebook to torture you. Because mentally, she's never grown up in her head. Neither did your sister who cut you out of the will. In order to do this for decades and decades and decades, it requires a schoolgirl type mentality. A childlike mentality. You don't think your other sister didn't know you were already cut out of the will? Come on, man. Come on. Those two hate you. They hate you, and that was their ha 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 moment. Ha ha. Fuck you from the grave. When the narcissist tells you they hate you from the grave, believe them. And that's what the will does. Cut them out, Block them all. Don't look back, Johnny. I don't know what your personal situation is, but if you have, focus on yourself and your own family, because these people are telling you you're not their family and you never were. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to have a private video made, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general, or make a monthly contribution, because that always helps, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.